Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Behind the Picture. Today's episode is brought to you by A Life Behind the Camera, my weekly photography blog that I send out every single Saturday. BTP is also brought to you by Cardi Crew merch. More on that later. And of course, this commercial-free episode is brought to you by the members of this channel. And our man, Scott, just became a member. So Scott, welcome. Glad you're here. Today we're talking about making money with your camera. And again, there's lots of videos I think that you'll see where people are talking about making money with their camera. But how we make money with our camera is all about providing value, providing a value greater than the fees that we're charging. It doesn't mean charging less. It means valuing yourself, valuing your work, and providing a high quality service that's worth more than the customer is paying. Make sense? There are some essential skills that I've learned. There's some essential skills that I've learned that have made it so I can survive with my creativity and my camera. Us being a great photographer, that's a given. That's the road that we're all on. But in order to truly excel in this photography business, there are some essential mindset shifts that I believe all emerging photographers need. And that's what we're talking about today. So let's get into mastery. Mastery, I hope you guys have a pen and a notebook because today's episode is going to be valuable. So first, let me explain the problem. What is the world's most valuable resource? What's the world's most valuable resource? Now, many people would say the most valuable research or the most valuable resource is money. That's what people are going to say that it is. Most people, if you ask them what's the most valuable resource, they're going to say it's money. But that is not our most valuable resource. Our valuable resource isn't money. Our most valuable resource is time, actually, because money can be renewed. Our time, unfortunately, cannot. Time is something that is an unrenewable resource. So time is a factor. Your time and attention, that is the most valuable. It's the most valuable to everybody, our time and our attention. So how do you become a successful photographer? Well, the first thing that you do is don't diversify. Warren Buffett advocated for focusing investments in your strongest area, especially when you're trying to be successful at something. So if you think about that with your photography career, don't diversify, right? So let's talk about focus versus multitasking. Okay, so you've heard me say our most valuable resource is time. So if we only have 24 hours in the day, and this is us, well, there's two different ways that we can approach our time. We could do version 1 of our time as a photographer. Version 1 looks like this. Version 1 looks like, hey, I like pictures. I'm going to take pictures of lots of different things and see what thing works out, right? That's what we do. It's basically like, if you think of it like a cup and then another cup, and another cup, and another cup. And all of these cups are your time and attention. And what you're doing when you diversify your niche is you're spending time putting liquid in all of these cups. And again, reminding you, we only have 100% of time, right? So we're dividing and we're putting 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. And guess what? None of those things, nothing's happening. You've given a little bit of effort to every single one of these things. That's your 100% of effort. So the smart photographer chooses a niche. The smart photographer does research and looks at all the different areas, chooses one, and then puts 100% of the effort into one cup. That cup quickly fills. You see that metaphor? When you're spreading your attention between lots of different things, not any single one thing can overflow. And here's the other thing. You're putting your effort into multiple different niches to see which one takes off. The problem is the one that's going to take off is the one that you give the most attention to. It's not the one that's paying off for you. It's the one that you're making pay off. It's the one that you give the most attention to. So if you think about our attention, we only have, again, 100% of it. So I argue against diversifying. We have to focus. This is what multitasking is. When we're doing this, we're multitasking and we're dividing our attention between multiple different things. So you start one thing, you start another thing, you start another thing, you start another thing. Successful photographers go all in on one thing. You don't make money by splitting up your attention. You make money by focusing all on one thing, on one niche. So let's talk about the journey of a photographer. Let's talk about the journey of a professional photographer and how it goes. There's five steps to this journey. 5 steps. By the way, not diversifying your photography career, not diversifying, is how you get disproportionate returns. If you love food photography and you put all of your effort into food photography, you get disproportionate returns than if you put 20% of your time into food photography, 20% into headshots, 20% into corporate headshots, 20% into fashion, and 20% into street photography. All of them you're going to fail at because not any single one of them you've put enough time or effort into to achieve any kind of expertise, any kind of cup overflow. All right. So, today's episode, I hope you guys are with me. So let's talk about the entrepreneurial journey. It's arrogant, by the way, to think that you spending 10% or 20% of your time on photography is going to work. You're already new on this journey of photography to begin with. It's not a smart bet to bet on you because you're only spending 20% of your effort on the act of being a professional photographer. So you're going to lose, by the way, to the ones that are spending 100% of their effort on one thing. So, as I said, new shooters say, I want to try a bunch of things and see what works out, which is okay when you're in the early recon stages. The thing that's misunderstood, the thing that takes off, is the thing that you work on. The thing that the genre, the thing that you work on the most, that's the one that blows up. You've heard me talk about specializing so much. And by the way, you want to spend as much
Gifted member.
Yo, let's go. Oki gifts 5 memberships. Oki, you are such a generous cat, man. Thank you so much. I didn't even turn my smoke machine on. Oki, Oki, Oki with the generosity, my guy, and the big good vibes. Thank you, Oki.
New member.
I appreciate you. Thank you for the gifted. So, as I was saying, there's 5 stages that a photographer goes through.
New member.
When they're deciding that they want to be a professional photographer. There are 5 stages that a photographer goes through.
New member.
I'm going to show you how it goes. This is how every new photographer's journey starts.
New member.
It goes like this. This is let's do it a little bit more even. Oh my goodness, my freehand today.
New member.
Brutal. Goes like this. This is everybody's journey as a professional photographer. And it starts here, which is called uninformed optimism. This is where we start on that upward trajectory of trying to be a professional photographer. Hey, other people are making money with their camera. I can do this. I have a camera. So you're uninformed and you're optimistic. Hey, I can do this. I can pick up my camera. Let's go. This is how every entrepreneur's journey happens. And then they kind of hit a peak of like uninformed optimism. And then they start this downward trajectory, which has them back here, which is called informed pessimism. So now you've gone on a trajectory of uninformed optimism and you're feeling, oh my God, this is great. I'm going to be a professional photographer. And then you're like, okay, nothing's happening. And then you start going back down again. And then you realize, I actually don't know anything about this professional photography game. And in fact, this isn't going how I thought it was going to go. So this is number 1. Number 2 is informed pessimism. Then you hit here, this dastardly spot, which is called the Valley. I'm going to hide my camera here. The Valley of Despair. This is where people quit. This is the spot that people quit. And because they quit here, they never get to the next spot, which is informed optimism. Informed optimism. Once you're on that upward trajectory again, where you started uninformed pessimistic, you're uninformed and optimistic, you started on that upward swing. Then you became an informed pessimist and you realized this isn't as easy as I thought. And then you hit the Valley of Despair. Guess what? This is the place that people quit right here. Guess what they do then? Then they start the cycle all over again. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll be a painter. Maybe I'll be a writer. And they start again with step 1, which is the uninformed optimism about this new venture. And then they come over here, this peak, and then they're like, oh, this is also as hard as this other thing that I was trying to do. Oh shit. So now they're here again, and they're in the informed pessimistic phase. And then they hit here, which is that number 3, that Valley of Doom. And guess what? They quit again, and they go through down here and they start the whole cycle again. So this is where everybody fails at photography. It's right here. But you have to stay with it. You have to stay with it and get to here, which is number 4, which is informed optimism. Hey, this shit's starting to work. I'm starting to get a handle on this. I'm starting to understand how this photography business works. And guess what happens after that? You stay with it and you hit number 5, which is success. Which is success. That's what happens. And this cycle of people never going out of the cycle of despair, they get stuck here. They don't look inwards to figure out why. Why am I stuck? Why is this not working? 5 stages a person goes through when deciding if they want to be a professional photographer. Uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, valley of despair, informed optimism, and then achievement and success. Once you get to achievement and success, guess what? You can do it again with another niche. You can do it again with video. You can do it again. Once you've got to this spot, you can do this again because you're here and you're informed of this, the fact that I'm optimistic. I'm excited about starting this venture right now, but I know it's going to be hard. So you're optimistic, but you already know that you're going to crest. You already know that you're going to come down to this spot where, wow, this is really hard. And you're going to come to a point in your business where you're going to want to quit. Every business goes through that. It's the photographers that stay the course and continue on that get to the informed optimism and get to the point where they're successful, which is why I have a photography business and I have a video business and I now have a YouTube business and a mentoring business. Like, it's how you move forward.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, by the way, leave a comment right now because I want to see, not in this live chat, because yes, you guys are in my live chat, but I want you to back up and go into the comments of this video. I want you to hit a like button, and then I want you to tell me exactly what stage of your photography business are you in. Are you in stage 1? Are you in stage 2, 3, 4, or 5? I guarantee many of you will be in that valley of despair, and that's why you found me, and that's why this content is resonating so much with you. Number 1, informed optimism. Number 2, uninformed optimism. Informed pessimism, valley of despair, informed optimism, and then achievement. Let me know where you are. Okay, the long game. You see, this is a long game, right? Are you starting to see how I'm putting this to you, that this is a long game? Imagine someone asked you, how long would it take you to build the tallest building that you can? Pretend you're an architect, right? And you say, oh, I can do it in a week with the knowledge that I have today. You're not an architect, obviously, because if you were an architect, you'd know that you can't build a building in a week. But someone asked you, how long would it take to build the tallest building that you can with the knowledge that you have today? What would be the result? What you do, how would you build the tallest building? Well, you'd get some materials and you'd race to the top. It would literally likely look, your building would look probably like this, I would imagine. It would be block, 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 block. This is the path of least resistance to try to build the tallest building that you can in the shortest amount of time. Yes or yes, right? Now, imagine you know that this building will never last, right? Like that's not a thing. You know that this building will never last, but you didn't know, or you don't know what you don't know. You just got an opportunity. You're like, hey, I'm going to take that photo. I'm going to make that photo. I'm going to do that photo shoot. You don't know what you don't know. Yes. You just do it. So now imagine if someone said they would 4 times the time to do the same task. Imagine you're like, okay, can you give me a little bit more time to make the tallest building that I can? And they say, okay, how much time do you want? You said it was a week last time. What do you want now? A month? And you say, yeah. Please, can you give me a month? And I'll make the tallest building that I can in a month. So what would you do? What you do first is you'd ask for a bit of help. You know more, but you still don't know what you don't know because not enough time has been allocated, and you gave yourself more time, but still not enough time to build it right. So therefore, it'll never last. And this building looks like this. This building has maybe a little bit more of a structure because you had a little bit more time to build it. And maybe it gets that high. You know, still, you took 4 weeks to build a building. You know that it's impossible for that building to last. So now, what if you gave yourself a year to do the same task? How would you plan now that you've made 2 failed buildings? Who would you hire? How would you make your building this time? Because you've had time to plan it and build it, it's a tall building now. And guess what? Because you had a year, it's a tall building that has a foundation, a smart foundation, because you've learned through your other 2 failed buildings that you can't not have a foundation. You can't not just go straight up. You kind of have to have a structure. And now you've built a building that is an incredibly tall building, and it will last. And guess what happens then? The person that asked you to make this building, that person has friends. That person talks to a couple of people. They're like, hey, I got this guy. He made a building. He did it in a year. And he tells his rich buddies that he knows somebody who can make a building in a year. So now what you've built is reputation. What you've built through 2 failures in 1 success, no one's going to remember the failures once you have a recent success. So now you have reputation. Reputation is the most important thing a photographer has. Now you have reputation. Because of your newly built reputation where you had a year to make a building and you succeeded, now the person that you made the building for has friends. Now you're tasked to make another building the next year for a new client with more money. How would this building be different? Because you built a successful building in the past and you did it in a year, and because you went through all the pain points of the first 2 failed buildings, you've reached the maximum height that now you can reach for a tall building in 12 months. But you can build a better building the same height, or a different style of building. What happens next? Because you've gone through the trials and the tribulations of accepting impossible tasks, and you've learned you need more time. And because you didn't ask for enough time the first 2 times, that's a lesson that you learned. And now you're building a reputation on that lesson. Of course, this second year-long building, you finish that building and it's world renowned. The owner of this new building, he has lots of rich friends. And guess what? You make more buildings. After 5 years of making a single building a year, each one better than the last, now you're tasked to make 2 tall buildings in a single year. How would that year be different? How would you do it? After 3 years of making 2 tall buildings a year, now you're tasked to make 3 tall buildings per year. How would that year be different? You see, that architect metaphor is you've gone through the learning curve of failure, and then you realize like you need more time. You need more time to plan. And what you also have to realize is there's quality over quantity when it comes to marketing. You have to actually get amazing at photography before you ramp up your marketing practice. You have to practice serving clients during your unpaid opportunities so you learn about the importance of being an amazing service for somebody. Even if you're not getting paid, you can still learn how to be an amazing experience for someone. The importance of focusing on the quality of your photography service and the product that you provide, which is the photography. It's worth focusing on your service and the quality of the product before you go insane on marketing efforts. A good reputation is amazing. A bad reputation is like getting sprayed by a skunk. You only get one opportunity to make a first impression. The important thing is to know that a good reputation and word of mouth are more sustainable for long-term growth. I talked about that architect. And once you have a product, which is your camera and your service as a photographer, and you do that work for people, you have to keep practicing until that service for that person is so good that that person actually becomes a megaphone for you. That person becomes your evangelist. You're not ready to market until your service is so good that everybody that you photograph wants to talk about how amazing that you are. How amazing that you are. Because word of mouth is the most powerful marketing that we have. And it's all based on reputation. Reputation is sustainable. Reputation is how you build long-term growth. How have I been a photographer for 33 years professionally? Reputation. So, the last thing I'm going to talk about in this section here is team building. You kind of have to have the right people around you. If you're an emerging photographer, what I did was when I was an emerging photographer, is I needed to be next to peers. I went to photography school. Everybody there was trying to be a photographer, and I gravitated towards the best in the class because we were number 1 and 2, the best in the class. So we hung out. We did and we shared everything. And guess what happened? We both got better together. We both started shooting for the Globe and Mail. We both started shooting celebrities, and both of us became successful because we shared and grew together. Doing it alone, it's insane. You need to build a team. I'm part of your team. Even if you don't know it yet, even if you're shy, I'm part of your team. You have to use me. Today's episode is brought to you by Cardi Crew Merch. This podcast is brought to you by Cardi Crew Merch.
Every piece you see, designed by the photographer you're currently watching. And let me let you in on a little secret. Meticulously hand-stitched by the arthritic grandmothers of our very own viewers.
Well, what?
This creative community inspired this entire line. Your zeal for artistry, your tireless dedication, and your individuality shines in every stitch and design. This isn't just another piece of clothing, it's a badge of honor for every creator out there. From what I see here, they are mostly just black t-shirts and hoodies, but you do you, boo. You actually want me to read the rest of this script?
Oh my God, who is this guy?
From the nuanced patterns to the vibrant colors, everything has been designed keeping in mind the creative soul that lies within each one of us. Wow, who wrote that? There isn't a single pattern, not one.
Oh my God, leave the commentary.
There is hardly any nuance. But it says here, this merch represents more than just apparel. It's an emblem of our shared passion for creativity. Who wrote this? What absolute twaddle.
Wow, this guy's a great supporter.
All of this stuff is kind of basic, to be honest, but I'll keep that to myself.
Okay.
Let the world know you're a part of something bigger. A photographer on YouTube's clothing collection that he actually has the balls to make a commercial about.
Okay, what is going on?
What I meant to say is, a collective of photographers that celebrates and uplifts every form of creativity. I am aware, as the narrator, I'm not allowed to insert my own narrative. But, holy moly, this is horrible.
Wow.
Join the movement, embrace your creative spirit with Cardi Crew Merch. And yes, he is really calling this a movement. Be proud of your passion for photography. Be proud of your creative life. If photography is your life, flaunt it. The one paying for this advertisement has asked me to make a toast. Isn't this a podcast? Okay, it'll cost you another 20. Let's raise a toast to every photographer, artist, and creative out there. Thanks for being a part of this journey.
This guy's so
Did
patronizing.
that suit you? That was absolutely ridiculous. Please don't make me read anything like that again.
Back to the show. Hope you guys like that. So we're going to get into a little bit of rapid fire. In order to make money with our cameras and our creativity, we have to do a lot of things. I'm going to rapid fire just some of the things that you have to do in order to make money with your camera. You have to appreciate design of all kinds. You have to learn how to be a designer, if only basic. You have to learn how to love typography. Learn how to design text in Illustrator. Learn how to incorporate text with your photographs. We have to appreciate video as a tool and what it can do for us as a marketing tool. We have to learn to love creating not just still images, but moving images as well. We have to learn to shoot a simple video. We have to learn to edit a simple video. We have to learn how to be a director. We direct every single time we pick up our camera. So learning how to be a director is one of our essential skills. We also have to learn how to capture people doing things naturally in a way that doesn't look cheesy. We have to have the ability to create lifestyle content. Lifestyle content, real people doing real things equals money. We have to understand design, have design skills, understand video, have video skills. That gives you an extra value on everything that I'm about to tell you on this 50 plus list of ways to make money with your camera. You have to remember, like photography is a service, video can also become a service. If necessary, design can become a service as well. I design all of my merch. I design all of my logos. I design all of my stream. Like, I learned. I design stuff. Your design skills can become a service, but your design skills are best applied to your own business. making your own website, making your own promotional material, and making your online presence look better. If your design skills are lacking, in order to be competitive in this market, get help with that aspect of your business. Get help with design if design is what you're stuck on. There's Fiverr, of course, but you can use a friend. You can hire a designer that can help you with your business branding. It's all about packaging. All right, this is what you've been waiting for. This is foundation. This is how to make money from all of the things that I'm about to tell you on this list. I'm sure you'll think of things that I missed on this list once I get into it. I'm actually thinking about things that I missed on this list when I look at it. Almost every one of these things can be a way for you to make money. Each one of these things can be turned into a niche itself. Many of them can be grouped together. Many of them work in any market, large or small. But before I get into this list, I watched a video from Dan Koh this morning, and it hit me hard. I want to read some quotes from his video, and I want you to think, does this apply to me? Does this apply to my current situation, or is this something that I'm currently doing? This might be a little bit triggering, but I don't want you to take offense to any of the things that I'm saying. Just ask yourself, am I doing this? I'm trying to help. Know that I'm trying to help. Don't let this trigger you. Let this inspire you. I put out a video recently using Charles Munger's theory of reverse psychology and reverse thinking, where if I tell you the wrong way to do something, your mind actually corrects and makes you think harder about the right way. I'm about to deliver some quotes from Dan Koh's video this morning. Again, this is a trigger warning. But ask yourself, am I doing any of these things? You aren't successful because you don't create something valuable that the market wants to pay for. People don't want what your ego wants. They want what Mother Nature wants. And who are you to act like? You know what they should be? What that should be? You aren't successful because you took these... Oh my goodness, I'm at the end already. Oh my goodness. Fail, Cardi, fail. All right, here we go. We're going to try this again. My bad. Ignore. Pretend that didn't happen. Take this from the top again. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness, these are definitely... Why are these out of order? View. Sorry, my guys. Let me... Yeah, that's really weird that these are not in order. Let me just do some arranging, folks. Oh, I guess I know what I can do here. Let me quit that. Sorry, give me a second. Sometimes I'm doing this live here, folks. It takes a minute. Sometimes when I'm trying to put together these most powerful things. There we go. Now I did it. Open with. There we go. Okay, we're back on track. This helped me greatly. And again, it's like reading this and the way that I'm delivering it, this helped me. I want you to remember that. I read this and it hit me hard, which is why I'm sharing it with you. Start from the top. You weren't successful because you say you want to help others, but you won't learn the skills that allow you to help others. You weren't successful because you focus too much on art and then blame the market when they don't see value in what you have to offer, because you couldn't articulate it with marketing and sales. You weren't successful because you focus only on your craft rather than getting your craft in front of potential customers. Your website's designs, writing, and other projects that do not count until other people see them. You're delaying the time to feedback. Without feedback, you can't shift your work to make it valuable. You guys are here for feedback. Your first iteration of your photography is likely not going to be valuable. You weren't successful because you have an incomplete perspective on what a creative business is. How you participate in the advancement of humanity is by creating a product that raises the collective consciousness. Is your photography just fluff? Are you bringing awareness to something? You aren't successful because you took all of these points as personal attacks. You've closed your mind to the potential and allowed your conditioning to rule you. You aren't successful because you don't create something valuable that the market wants to pay for. People don't want what your ego wants. They want what Mother Nature wants. And who are you to act like? You know what that should be? You weren't successful because you find comfort in the beliefs that you are high and mighty. You lock yourself into a paradigm that prevents you from growing as an individual. You begin coping rather than creating. You aren't successful because you took these points as personal attacks. I'm just going to go over these one more time. There's things that I have done on this list, and for me, in the last 2 years, I've completely shifted my business. I've completely shifted my mindset. I've completely shifted everything. And the result of that shift has been success beyond what I've ever seen in the 30 years of being in business. So know that these quotes aren't to hurt you. They're making you feel something. They're making you dive into an area of your body and your brain that maybe no light has been shined on before. I hope that was helpful. All right, that's from a video from Dan Coe. All right, let's get back to my notes. We need a vessel. Okay, by the way, enough with not saying that you weren't successful. That whole thing was not to trigger you. It was to inspire you. Self-development is a gateway drug into entrepreneurship, because you realize improving others is the next level of improving yourself. If you help others improve, that's next level. And funny enough, helping others improve is something that you can do through photography. It's something that you can do through making videos. Helping others succeed is the next level of how to become successful. Self-development is a gateway drug to entrepreneurship. There's one golden rule to making money with your camera. There's one golden rule. If you get nothing else out of today's episode, make sure you take this. The golden rule is you have to provide value to others with your photography. That is it. That is the golden rule. And it means two things. First, you have to cultivate that value. You have to cultivate your value. You have to expand your mind. You have to identify problems within your own self and your own business. You have to gain the skills to solve them or find the people to help you solve those problems. And every day you have to make tangible progress. In reality, you can't sit around and just learn the theory of photography all day. You have to practice it, and you have to distribute your value. You need a vessel, also known as your photography, to distribute that product or service. Your photography business is the vessel to distribute your product, which is the final finished photograph, and the service, which is the act of you taking the photos, to a market that wants to buy. You need to distribute it to that market. If they don't want it, by the way, when you go into trying to distribute your photography to that market, it means your photography isn't as valuable as you think, which means it's not about them, it's about you. And it means you have to go inwards and figure out what you can do to make your photography more valuable, not lower your fucking prices, which is what people do. They race to the bottom instead of racing to the top with their skills and self-improvement. You need self-development and business and photography development, personal growth and business growth. Your photography business is how you provide value at scale. You provide value to your family and friends at a local level, but business is how you provide value to people at scale. That's what your photography business is. Now, as I said, everything that I said today can be applied to any one of these niches. Every one of these 50 plus angles I'm about to rapid fire you has a learning curve. Every single one of them. It's going to be impossible to target every single one of these things. Many of them can be grouped. The most important thing is you need to get in front of people. You can't be shy. You have to be on offense. You have to put your work in front of people and create an irresistible offer, an offer they can't refuse. And that offer isn't about the lowest price. It's about the highest value. Clients pay for the highest value they can afford. And as I said earlier, the most valuable commodity to everybody here on earth isn't money, it's time. So if you can save a client time and bring them value, that will make you money. All right, you ready? Rapid fire. You better get a pen because I'm just flying these down. It's going to take too long for me to write them so you can see them visually. Here are almost 70 ways to make money with your camera and a quick insight on how to do it. Number one, actors, shoot headshots. People photography, we're going to start there. People photography as that because that's what I do. Headshots, okay? Actor headshots, easy breezy. Find talent agencies in your area. Every talent agency needs a photographer. Learn how to shoot headshots that are so irresistible that everybody has to have them, but also learn what a goddamn headshot looks like. Learn what a good headshot looks like, learn what a traditional headshot looks like, and learn how an editorial headshot looks like so you can put your own photography spin on it. Once you master that stylistic vibe of your headshot, you make an offer that acting talent agency can't refuse. I will shoot each actor that you send me for $300, but I will give you $50 back cash to you for recommending me to every single person that you send me. So I will charge $250. You tell your clients that I charge $300. They give me $300, I give you back $50. That's an irresistible offer, and that's how so many acting talent agents deal with their photographers. If you're trying to do headshots and you're not offering some sort of a kickback Maybe that's why you're not getting any hits with your headshots, because the photographers that do give $50 per every 1 cent or $25, they get all kinds of people sending them headshots. Now, corporate headshots is big money. Every business needs headshots. This is how you do it. You go to LinkedIn, you start searching companies, doesn't matter what niche, because every company needs headshots. You look at their website, you see that their headshots are brutal. They're selfies. They're a guy holding his wife and it's cut with his wife out. So it's just a picture of him. Like, you look at business profiles and you see how brutal the photography is. Then you create an irresistible offer. That offer, super easy. I will shoot 1 executive for you for $750. I will shoot 2 for $650 each. I'll shoot 3 for $600 each. I'll shoot 4 for $500 each. I'll shoot 8. Like, depending on how many you shoot, the price goes down with each extra person that you're shooting. So I have, with my pricing, 1, and then I have 2 to 5, 5 to 8, 8 to 11, and then 11 plus. And I have a per person shot, per person price, depending on how many people I'm shooting. They get a web gallery, watermarked, and they get 2 finals. If they want extra finals, they're $50. Many people want extra finals. You end up shooting a business that has 20 people. You're shooting each person at $400 a head. You're making bank. That's corporate headshots, and you can just attack business after business after business and rob and pillage by bringing companies that need you value, a value that's greater than the money that they're spending. Next thing, upselling prints. Imagine that's what I just did, is I upsold by including a certain thing with the price that you're paying. You're hiring me to shoot. What I give you is a gallery of everything watermarked, like a contact sheet for you to choose, plus 2 finals. If you want extra finals, that's $50 per final. So if you want 4, you get 2 free, you pay for 2. So that's money on the back end, and it's called a print upsell. Do you know how many photographers don't do this? They just shoot and then take their $50 and then just give everything. They give raw files. It's like, okay, again, guaranteed failed business, guaranteed. The print upsell or the digital file upsell is how I've ran a business for 30 years. When it was film, I upsold prints. Now that it's digital, I upsell digital files. That's how you run your business. Next, shooting for small businesses, interiors, shops, shooting window displays. Fashion stores change their window displays every week. So shooting window displays for companies, going in and shooting small business interiors, that is a no-brainer. It's an easy business model. You can do it for every company in your entire city. Next, weddings. Weddings is a whole hustle, but again, it's that same up, down, up learning curve when people say, I want to shoot weddings, but they get into it and they realize, oh my God, it's kind of hard. And they realize they kind of suck at it. And they then quit because they get into that valley of despair. There is a way to have a successful, like $10,000 a month wedding business, but you need to know how to do it. But weddings, you upsell the engagement photo. Someone hires you to shoot a wedding. You're like, hey, did you shoot an engagement picture? They're like, I didn't even think of that. It's like, let me shoot your engagement picture. Now you're upselling the engagement session. Now you do the wedding. Now you do the, like, they're pregnant and it's like the, whatever, they gender reveal parties and all that shit. Now you're shooting the baby. And it's like, it becomes a lifelong client if that's the type of photography that you do. Event photography. Event photography is my least favorite type of photography because that is not making pictures, that is taking pictures, meaning anyone who's there with a camera, if you're not there, some next person is there. So it's like event photography is a thing, but it's not respected. I'm not going to spend much time on event photography. It is a business. You can turn it into an amazing business, but I don't think it's very fulfilling. And it involves you doing stuff at night. I don't know if you like doing stuff at night. I personally work during the day. At night, I do other stuff. Family photography, baby photography. That all bundles into the weddings. If you're shooting weddings, you should be shooting weddings, engagements, possibly events, family photos, baby photos. You can group all of that stuff together. Each one of those things is its own niche. How you find it's like find a pediatrician, find like an OBGYN, someone who's a doctor that like literally deals with pregnant moms all the time, and be like, hey, you got any cute pregnant moms? Like, I'm trying to look for subjects for my photography. So it's just bang, 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 bang. Next, street portraits. There's photographers that have millions and millions and millions of followers on Instagram, subscribers on YouTube, and all they do is they walk with their camera. They go down the street, they see somebody who's beautiful, and they're like, hey, they have a GoPro on, they put their GoPro on, and they're like, hey, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Can I take your picture? And then they take the photo, and what they do is they show the girl in real life with the GoPro, and then they show the amazing transformation of their final retouched photo. And that's like how people are growing an audience. But in meeting those people, you can also be getting their social contacts, sharing those photos with them, and building relationships with these people that you're flagging on the street. That ends up being new relationships, new people following you, new photographs for your portfolio, and inevitably, because you're bringing value to these people for free, at some point when they need a photographer, they're going to be like, oh my God, who's that guy I met on the street who shot that amazing picture of me? Let me look at his portfolio or her portfolio and see if they can shoot something for me. Street portraits can be turned into a portfolio. That portfolio can be turned into lifestyle. Street portraits can be sold as prints. Street portraits can be made into a coffee table book. There's so many different angles to shooting strangers and monetizing it. It's just people don't do it. Organized sports photos. Your kid plays baseball, figure out a way to be the team photographer. You're around soccer. You can shoot athlete photos. You can shoot team photos. There's organized sports is such a thing. There's so many different ways. If you have kids, get involved in shooting portraits and pictures of organized sports. It's a huge thing. Social media influencers. We're on number 12. Social media influencers need photography more than any other people on earth. There's no more vanity that you're going to see from a social media influencer. So if you can just feed that beast a little bit and provide them with a constant flood of amazing photography with them, you can be on retainer. I talked about that in another video, being on retainer where you get a specific amount of money per month to do 1, 2, or 3 photo shoots for them and provide them with edits. And again, video can be applied to every single thing on this list. This is a photography podcast. I do have to remember that from time to time, but I am trying to teach you how to make money. Next, real estate agents and real estate photography. There's no more money in the world than in the world of real estate. Shooting. Let's go, Victor. Welcome. Thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate you, Victor. Let's go. Victor gets the smoke. Where's my smoke machine? Jeez, I thought it was on and it wasn't. Let's go, Victor. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for becoming a member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, Victor. So, imagine, where am I? Real estate agents have so much money. Real estate agents spend so much money to market these homes. They need high-end photography, high-end exteriors. They need drone photography. They need high-end interiors. They need property shots, landscaping. There's so many angles when it comes to real estate photography. Real estate agents and the agency, the Century 21 or whatever, agents need company-wide photos. They need photos of their office. There's so many different ways that you can market within the real estate game, and they have bank. And if you deliver a high-value product, you can charge high-value prices for it. There's also rental properties. There's also landlords who are basically, there's Airbnb. I know there's a photographer, his name's Jamie Windsor. He has a whole business where he photographs Airbnb properties. He goes on Airbnb, he sees rentals, he looks at the photography, he sees the photography shit, he contacts them, he says, hey, your photography shit, I can do better photography, here's examples, boom, boom, boom. And now you're shooting rental properties, you're shooting interiors, exteriors, and you're making people's Airbnb sites look amazing. So that's drone photography for real estate. Or actually that's rental properties. Drone photography for real estate. You can imagine you can just apply that to, if you have a drone, you can do drone photography. There's so many different ways that you can apply drone photography. There's a photographer who used to watch my show who I helped him get to the point where he had a legitimate drone photography business. So drone photography for real estate, drone photography for land surveying. There's people who are buying property. It's out in the woods, they can't see, drone fly up, do land surveying, they can do property lines and all that stuff just because you have the skills to fly a drone. There's also drone photogrammetry. Photogrammetry is literally map building with a drone, again, for property owners that want to know property lines and exact measurements and stuff like that. You can use your drone to shoot series of photographs that can map a whole property. Interior designer photos. Interior designers also spend a hell of a lot of money on photography because the photography of their interiors is their portfolio. So if you can get good at shooting interiors, interior designers, architects, you're going to make money shooting businesses. Like, it goes back into real estate and all that stuff. So shooting spaces at a super high end, there's so many different ways to bring value if you get good at shooting spaces. Macro photography. Macro photography isn't just shooting bugs and shooting flowers. Macro photography can also be used to shoot product. It could also be used for technology. There's so many different ways that macro photography can be used. It's used in car photography, it's used in cannabis, it's used in so many applications where things are small, or companies want close-up details of the intricacies of their product. Macro photography can be used, and because it's so specialized, it can be charged at an incredibly high rate. Product photography. Product photography is an exploding business with Amazon, and looking at the high level of photography just on Amazon, people are learning about product photography and how to make it better and better and better. There's a huge market there. There's product photography for small business, product photography for a hair salon. They're putting out a line of their own products, like they're trying to sell their own products. They're trying to sell haircuts. So coloring, you can actually photograph their customers like before and after. There's so many different angles when it comes to salons. You can do product photography for luxury goods. Here's an idea. Get your credit card, go to your local department store, buy a Louis Vuitton bag. Make sure that before you leave that they have a 100% return policy where you get all your money back as long as it's not damaged. You take that bag, you bring it home, you put it on your set, you photograph that bag in all kinds of amazing ways. That bag is a luxury item. It costs $2,600. Then you bring that bag back, exchange, and get your money back on your credit card. And now you have the photography of these luxury goods and you have your money back. So many photographers have done breakout work with expensive products. You can't just go to the dollar store and buy something and take pictures of it. I mean, yes, that kitschy style, like there is a value there, but the real value is photographing luxury goods. That's why car photographers shoot Porsches. That's why they shoot expensive cars, because the lower end brands see that you're shooting Porsches, so then you get paid the real money to shoot Toyotas. Okay, food photography. There's so much angles when it comes to food photography. Scott Cicchino, you can see, has like $1 million business doing food photography. Food photography is just, there's so many different angles. Menus you could be shooting. You could be shooting interiors for a restaurant. There's lifestyle attached to food photography. There's cookbooks. There's magazines. Like, people are fat. There's food culture everywhere. Shooting food is a thing. Small business interiors I touched on. Small business lifestyle. Shooting people doing things in a natural way. If that's in a business setting, that's business lifestyle. And that's something that is a huge market for. Not enough people are doing it. Videography or video services or shooting video. You can make music videos, which you see. I make music videos. You can do corporate videos. You see, I make corporate videos. You can see talking head videos is another one. I make talking head videos. I make web videos. I make vertical video for small business. I make behind the scenes video. I make reels, and I make short form content, all for clients that they pay me to make. Here's another one. You can be a video podcast producer. If you have a couple of camera bodies and a laptop, you can learn how to produce a podcast. I know it's not photography related, but you are making money with your creativity and using your equipment in a different way when you're not using it for photography. You can do event photography, which we touched on a little bit earlier. There's education and instruction, which spins into like talking head videos, helping people with their books, their courses, people who are educators. There's photography schools. There's schools in general. There's all kinds of imagery that is very low quality within the education space. If you brought a higher quality of imaging to the education space, you might make some money. If you're a licensed drone operator, if you've passed the test and got your drone license, you can teach a course on how to pass the test to get your drone license. Are you an expert in any area of photography? Are you amazing at composites? Make a course, make a workshop. Are you amazing at Lightroom organization? Make a course, make a workshop. Whatever area of photography, once you get to that place of expertise, you should start talking about it and start teaching about it and start monetizing your skill set from other creatives. Make a course, make an ebook. You can sell digital products. If you have a cool editing style, sell presets. You can sell LUTs. You can also go behind the scenes and shoot in restaurants. You can see a restaurant that's thriving. You can shoot social media pictures of people enjoying their meals that they can use on social media. There's lifestyle photography in restaurants. And again, learn how to shoot lifestyle photography. If you can get a handle at editing, if you can get a handle at editing video, you don't just shoot video, but you can shoot, direct, and edit, which is what I do. I shoot, direct, and edit. So when I get paid for a video project, I get paid as the director, I get paid as the camera person, and I get paid as the editor. You can create a how it's made. Like if you are, again, great at a certain angle of photography, you're an amazing landscape shooter, you're an amazing wedding shooter, make some sort of a how I did this photo. That's something that is a great task for social media and something that will bring you money. If you're an amazing photographer, hook up with some creators and start shooting their thumbnails. There's such a business. There's so many YouTubers in Toronto. You could make a successful business just shooting and designing thumbnails. If you're great at Instagram and TikTok, like Vicky is my social media manager for my Instagram account. So you can be a social media manager like Vicky is for other people, as well as your own, if you're good at social media. You can do affiliate marketing, which is on your website, have links of the gear that you use every day. So you can make affiliate money on just by telling people, hey, I shoot with the R5 in case you want to know. And if you want to buy one, click this link and I'll make 50 cents. Print sales. I have an Etsy store. I sell prints. I don't know. I don't talk about my Etsy store very often, but I have a print on demand service where you order the print, money goes into my account. The order goes to another company. They automatically take that money from my account minus the profit, and then they fulfill the order and ship the print to the customer. So you can make and sell a photography book. That's easy breezy. Make a book of work that you have right now that's high value work and put it together and sell it. You can also coincide that photography book launch with a gallery show of prints on the wall, which you can sell. And then also afterwards, you can sell that artwork to offices, to schools, to large companies to decorate their buildings. It helps if you make your prints large. Notice how large I make my prints. The ones back there are 2 feet by 3 feet. All 4 of those ones. The ones on this wall is 24 by 30. That's 24, 20 by 24. Yeah, these two are 20 by 24. You can see it's like the same height as a TV, and my TV is 43 inches. So make your prints big. I do have some smaller prints on this wall over here. You can't really see them with my camera position, but print sales, gallery sales, sell artwork, sell prints at art fairs. There's all kinds of like flea markets and pop-ups where there's like art fairs and festivals. Go in there, sell your prices, have your prices at a ludicrous amount to the point where you'll sell nothing, but still people will see your work and see that you're a high value photography. And also you're looking for businesses that you can actually apply your services to. You can shoot city guides, by the way, if you love traveling and moving around or are really great in your own city. Like for me, I could sell a city guide on the best camera shops, the best places to print, the best photography locations, amazing point of interest. I could sell one of those on Toronto. You can do special photo adventure guides, spots to go just outside your city, off the beaten path for photography. If you have a car, like driving around and finding cool spots, you can actually sell a guide, an adventure photography guide. There's also subscription services. If your Instagram is popping, you can turn on paid subscription and give people who pay you $5 a month a little bit of a benefit or extra pictures that you don't show to the non-paid people. You can also do a photography blog on Substack, which is what I do. And I've been doing my Substack for 40 weeks. I haven't missed a single week. And creating an audience, providing them with value, and then having some of your content, it's freemium, meaning you get everything for free, but after a certain time, it paywalls. So that's a way for you to do blogging on Substack. There's also subscriptions on Behance. You should have a Behance profile and have your photography on Behance, but there's also, you can add your services, all the different things that you do on Behance, as well as some of your prices on Behance, as well as have a paid subscription to see your work on Behance, as well as you can sell stock on Behance. And selling stock is another one that I could do a whole episode on. Scott did a great video on selling stock, so make sure you watch that. Scott from Tin House Studio. There's Instagram subscriptions. There's pitch decks. If you're great with design, you can help people pitch their products by doing the photography and then helping them with the layout of their pitch decks. If you're good with design, you can do logos, websites, and social media posts for other small businesses. I design logos. I designed this, and I love designing stuff. You could also do photo restoration services. If you're amazing at post, you can help people fix their old ripped photos. Remember back in the day, if someone ripped a photo, it would have been like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Now you just take those two halves, put them back together, blah, 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 put it on the scanner, scan it, fix it in post, output another print. So photo restoration services, there's photographers that have made whole businesses on helping people restore their old photos, and the prices that people pay to have photo restoration done is insane. And although that's not you making your own photos, that is you making money with your creativity and monetizing things that you can do passively while you're not working, you know? Fine art print sales, stock photography, I said, and lastly, image licensing, meaning selling stock. For me, once I shoot for a magazine, I own the picture. So if they want to run it again, they have to license it from me. So licensing your photos is also another way. Guys, that was over 70 ways to make money with your camera. I hope you guys took that in. I hope you took in today's episode and really got a lot out of it. As you can see, we've now passed 100 members. As I said earlier, this commercial-free packed episode is brought to you by the members of this channel. If you are in the live chat and you're seeing people who have crowns next to their name, those are the people that are bringing you this commercial-free live episode. So say hi to them. If you'd like to also be able to chat in all of my live streams, behind the picture, you'll notice, is the only episode that if you're a subscriber only, it's the only episode that you can participate in chat. Ask a Photo Pro and the photo review shows that happen Tuesday, Thursday, and during the week. Everybody can watch them, but only members can participate in chat. So I like to give benefits to the people who choose to sign up for this channel. So guess what? Guess what time it is? Guess what time it is? It is time for this week's assignment. Last week I gave you an assignment which was shooting some peppers. Today we talked a lot about business.
Yes, sir, yes.
We talked a lot about business, and my challenge for you is different today. My assignment for you is different today. Today, my assignment for you is I want to know where you are with your photography. I want to know where you are 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Are you success? Are you optimistically on the upswing? Are you pessimistically on the downswing? Are you in the valley of despair? Are you still in this? By the way, after today, there's nobody who's going to be optimistically uninformed after watching today's episode. I'm thinking about doing an episode on creative ways to reach out to, creative ways to find and reach out to new clients that don't know you. I'm thinking about doing a whole episode on how to do that, because I know people have a hard time with that. So if you'd like me to make an episode on how to find clients and how to reach out to them, do let me know and I will make that episode. You'll see my behind the picture ad right here, which is letting you know that you can now listen to all my podcasts on YouTube Music. So if you'd like to listen to my podcasts rather than watch them, you can listen on YouTube Music if you get the YouTube Music app. So make sure that you do that. We are in process of turning this podcast into something that is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other podcasting audio-only platforms. But this as an audio podcast may exist first on Substack. Substack might be where I drop this as an audio podcast. It'll be behind a paywall. It'll be for paid subscribers only, but you'll be able to have this in your ears. Guys, please consider becoming a member. Please subscribe. My God, if you got to the end of this episode and you're not subscribed, what's wrong with you? Come on now. I am able to ask or answer any questions. And I looked right now at the poll today. And my question for you was, are you currently making money with your camera? And 48% of my viewers said yes, but I could be making more. 52% said not a dime. Please help. So you can see everybody who's watching, which means 100% of the people here could use help making money with their camera. Some are making some money with their camera, but they could make more. What I try to do here on YouTube is teach you like some systems and the ways that you can actually make money. I have a mentorship program for people who want specific targeted help with accountability. Like that's where the people who pay me to be a part of my mentorship program, they get accountability. And what I'm in process, I know I've been talking about this for a bit, but I am interested are you interested in like a master class or some sort of monthly group master class that happens just for members, but it's going to be members at another tier. This is going to be group mentorship. It's going to be small, super targeted, less than 10 people, I'm imagining, or 10 people. And what I'm going to be doing is giving specific assignments to those people. I'm going to be their accountability partner. I'm going to be motivating them and helping them all the way along that journey.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All the way along that journey of up, down, and then back up again. When we're in the valley of despair is usually when we turn to YouTube. Is when we're in that valley of despair and not knowing how to get out of it. And right before we quit, we usually try to do one last ditch effort to put all of our like, hey, help. And I think that that's why you guys found me. And funny enough, this is me knowing my value and what I can bring to the table and how I have a way of having an overview of your work, of your career, where you are on your journey, and a way to task you on do this, stop doing that, focus your energy here. And yeah, it's been really good because I've been doing my mentorship program for like 6-8 months here on YouTube, and I actually now have a system for the way that I help people. And it's like, it's so, I actually have a system now, which is amazing because I'm just a guide and just a coach. And I've just been like, hey, try this. Hey, like, but as I've now gone, and that's why I raised my prices, is because I got good at it. I got good at this mentorship thing. And I can target exactly what it is that you're doing wrong and point you exactly in a way that you could correct it. I can't do the work, by the way. I can't do the work for you, but I definitely can be a coach. Guys, I hope you found today's episode helpful. Did you find today helpful? Make sure that you're in my Discord. If you've become a member, becoming a member is part 1. Part 2 is joining the Discord. My Discord is the largest growing photography community on the internet right now. There's no stats and there's nothing to back up that statement, but it is the largest growing photography community on the internet, and it's the most helpful community. It's the most amazing community, and it's how you submit photos for review. It's how you submit websites for review, raw files for review, and it's your community. It's your people. It's basically photography school and the community that you got from photography school for those people who didn't have the benefits of being able to go there. One of the benefits of photography school are your peers, the people that you're like, look at this, and people telling you information, and you're like, okay, like, let me check with Cardi to see if what that guy's telling me is like, it's literally like, let me check with the prof to see what this other student is like, we're all learning together. That's an amazing thing. But I'm a coach, I'm a guide, and I'm here to help you. That's my role. Literally, I'm trying to be of service. And because it takes so much effort for me to monitor my Discord, to help and to answer every single question that I'm asked regularly, I've actually hired a team of developers to build a Cardi bot. My Cardi bot is releasing this week, and the Cardi bot is going to be available in Discord to my YouTube members. And the thing that's amazing about this Cardi bot is it has a knowledge base of everything that I've ever said on YouTube. Anything that I've ever said. And it's not AI. It's not AI. It's using my knowledge base, my words, things that I've talked about. And if I haven't talked about it, it's not able to answer the question. So what I'm working on right now is I have a bot that if you ask, hey, when did Cardi start photography, or when did you start photography? It'll be like, oh, Cardi started photography when he was 14 and blah, blah, blah. Like, it will regurgitate all my answers. It'll tell you in a super concise way. If you're like, hey, I'm shooting portraits outside, what lens should I use? It's going to give you an opinion on what lens you should use for the question that you're asking, as long as you're asking a photography related question. So the Cardi bot is going to be available to YouTube members, which is another reason for you to join this channel. Let's go. Turtle, where have you been, my guy? Turtle Drones. Let's go. Turtle, where you been, my guy? Glad you're back. Guys, we are at the end of this episode. I talked about you earlier today, Turtle. Funny enough, I say drone, and he appears. Look at this guy. I am so glad that you guys stuck with me to the end of this episode. If this episode brought you value, I want to see a hey yeah in chat if this brought you value. Next, if you are part of the replay gang and you got to the end of this episode, I also want to know, where are you on this journey? Are you at spot 1, 2, 3, 4? Or are you on your way to 5, which is feeling that success? Guys, we have an army. We are over 115 members here on the YouTube. We are usually streaming to almost 50 people live, which is insane considering I streamed to 5 people for 2 years and no one was paying attention. So the fact that you guys are all here, thank you. I have 2 new videos out that I dropped on Friday. They go back to back, so they're on my channel. 4 secrets that successful pros know that amateurs don't, and how to make sessions with you feel like a dopamine hit. That is the other video. Make sure you guys watch those next if you haven't watched them. Watch this video back while you can, because this is one of those episodes that I might actually turn this episode into a members only episode. Depends. This episode might end up being a course. So if you're watching this episode and it's a course for you, don't you wish you watched it live on YouTube for free? Guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you on Tuesday. I hope today was helpful. Please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. I do these live streams Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I want to know in the comments where you are on your photography journey. 1 through 5, where are you at? As mentioned earlier, this commercial-free live stream is brought to you every single episode by the members of this channel. If you became a member of this channel recently, you're going to see your name scroll across the top of the screen. If you subscribed recently, you're going to see your name scroll across the bottom of the screen. Please remember that today's episodes were brought to you by A Life Behind the Camera, my super inspirational pro photography blog that I send out to over 600 inboxes every Saturday. Make sure you're on that list. I drop all kinds of insight as well as special appearances and workshops and stuff that I don't drop anywhere else. Guys, I really appreciate you joining me and being with me on this incredible journey that is professional photography. I love you all. Thanks for watching. Make sure you watch another video next. I'll see you soon.